Rivals of Aether 2 just wrapped up at Smash Camp, and it had some top talent there. And Ion actually stole the crown for best Olympia in the world, getting all the way to second place, playing against Cake Assault in the grand finals. And his Olympia was an absolute treat to watch. Now, if you have a problem with me saying that Ion might be the best Olympia in the world, please, please, please prove me wrong. That just means I get to watch more high-level Olympia gameplay. So we're going to take a look at each of his games in that set, and I want to point out some really cool stuff that I saw him doing that might help a lot of other people's Olympia gameplay. It sure as hell has helped mine, so let's take a look. One thing I want you to keep in mind as we watch this first game is how Ion is starting damage. The main moves he likes to use a lot is he'll just kind of turn around and try to land on people with a back air. Just jump up high and just land with an active hitbox, sort of like in this spot here, here, and here. And then if that back air lands, you can confirm that into a grab. The other thing he'll do is like short hop up air. Up air's arc is really good for catching people out of the air, especially if you hit the end part. If you hit this part of up air, it sends them straight down. If you hit this part of up air, it's going to send them upward. So if you catch someone in the air with this part specifically, that sends them right back to the ground. You can throw them upward, and then they're in your up air strings for your combo. Those are going to be the main two moves he's using in neutral to start damage, so please keep that in mind. And when he's after that sort of middle combo percent, when he gets to the higher percent, keep in mind how Ion is using down tilt to set up kill confirms as Olympia. There are some other rare strings that I don't see a lot of other people use that I'll point out when they come up. And then his combo at the end of game one is just beautiful. So let's take a look. Starts off, he's already using the up air. And what's interesting to point out is actually how he's using the gem placement up here. Most people will just throw gem straight across at their opponent, like it's a projectile. They just want to get that hit. But Ion is using it in an interesting way here. He's not using it a lot. He doesn't do this for the rest of the set. I think he just does it in this first game. But this is interesting to point out. He puts the gem up here so that he can gem dash to it. And it's kind of like doing a full hop, but you're doing the full hop at 2 times speed. The gem dashing is insanely faster than a full hop. And he's facing this way, but the gem dash is going to force him to turn around and face the other way, allowing him to do basically a faster version of a full hop back air. You just saw right there. So I mentioned this in my previous video about Olympia, and this is kind of the only reason I wanted to talk about Ion's gameplay, other than it was just really interesting. And I'm going to start doing more videos where I analyze top level gameplay, so subscribe if you want to see more of that. But what I was talking about in my last Olympia video is using back air to reset your combos at low percent. Below 20%, up throw into up air doesn't work. So I'm seeing most high level Olympia players do an up throw, and then you chase your opponent's DI. See Cake is DIing to the left here. All that Ion needs to do is short hop back air right here, and then hit fall the back air, go straight down, and then re-grab again. And you'll see that right here. He runs past, but he's able to turn around. He recognized that he ran past, which I did mention in my last video. Sometimes if you do this fast enough, you can get the hit fall back air and still have time to run behind them and everything, because Olympia is just so goddamn fast. So all of you guys below 20% on characters that aren't Fleet, Locks, and Raster, you should be using back air to reset your combos so you can get more damage. See, now that he's at this higher percent, you'll start to see Ion look for moves like down tilt to set up, to pop him up like in that perfect position to get the kill. There are essentially 3 modes that you'll be in when playing Rivals of Aether, but for Olympia specifically, it's like I'm at low percent, so I want the reset with the back air. I'm at mid percent, so I'm kind of just going to spam up airs and just do my combos. And then when I'm at high percent, my main focus is to get that down tilt, which as of right now is the most consistent kill setup move that I can think of with Olympia. Like at this percent 85, if he were to up throw, he would be sent too far for a reliable follow-up. So down tilt looks like the best move to use right now. Excuse me. Gets the down air on shield. He's still close by, and the down tilt is so fast, there's like a low risk for throwing it out, right? 100 damage Down tilt sets, pops up straight up, uses the up air to kind of bridge the gap, and then double jump forward air will take the stock. So Ion is exhibiting like textbook Olympia gameplay. Like, this is all very clean, very precise, and very calculated. Like, he's not just running at Cake and pressing random buttons. This is all pre-rehearsed and pre-packaged game plans. The stuff he's doing with Gem is pre-packaged. You see, he's going to do the same back air because this is a game plan that he's built up. Same back air to reset the grab string. Now he's on the platform, so he can't do another back air. What did I mention in the last video? If you up throw them onto a platform, your best bet is to just wave land and chase whichever way they tech. Now he gets another grab. He's off stage. He could have gone for an up air, but forward air is just as good, especially because Cake is already DIing to the right. It's not going to kill because I think Cake is going to change his DI as soon as he gets hit. No, he did DI to the right. You can see this arrow, but he just wasn't high enough percent. He's only 30. You're not going to kill with a forward air at 30. But this is the type stuff I'm talking about. Like, it's not just randomly running at somebody, throwing out hitboxes. This is a beautiful string that he does right here that I don't see other Olympias do. I think I was actually labbing this when she first came out. At mid percents like 50, if you happen to land a back air, they get sent at like the perfect position off stage, like right here. They like just barely miss the ledge if you hit them with a back air right here. So knowing that, if you know they're just barely going to miss the ledge, you can chase them down here with another hitbox, which is exactly what Ion does. Back air, just runs off stage and rips the down air. And Cake was totally caught off guard. He had no idea that was coming, and he just barely makes it back to the stage. So that's one you guys can throw in your back pocket. And then the last note I had was for this combo he hit at the end of the game, which was just fantastic. Oh, this is a super interesting thing as well, if you guys don't know. If you side B as Olympia and your side B ends right at the ledge, you don't have any lag after. But the spacing is extremely precise. So Ion does that here, and he's able to get a down air after the side B. Just a little bit of extra damage. It's not going to kill. But here comes the combo that I really wanted to point out. So all of this starts from the hit fall back air. Cake retreats to the platform. He has lag out of his up B. So the fastest thing you can do is a full hop back air. Of course, he hit falls it. You see that spark right there? That means he's pressing down as soon as the move hits. Cake is able to, he's holding down so that he can tech it right away, which is going to happen again in game 4 or throughout these games. The combos that into the up air, another up air. He's heading towards the platform, and this platform on this stage like has no space. So this isn't even really a tech chase. This is just part of the combo. Down air, straight into the up B. He basically died at 50. So there's two things you can do if your opponent like lands on a platform. You can either wave land and re-grab them, but that's what you want to do at low percent. If you're at high percent, the best thing to probably do, but it's risky because you have to predict which way they're going to be, is the down air, because that's going to set you up for a kill. If you want to be safe, you could wave land and just, but that down air is just too damn good. Let's head to game 2. In game 2, not too much eventful happens. I don't want to be repeating myself this entire video, so I'm just going to point out different things that I see. As the set goes on, it's a lot more of the same. This game illustrates how powerful Olympia's back air out of shield is, especially with the hit fall. Ion's shielding here. Cake jumps above and behind him. Ion's actually able to back air, hit fall out of shield. And look, he's already back down to the ground by the time. Like, she falls so fast. He thought he was going to the platform. I don't know what he's thinking. Oh, he was trying to delay. But then another back air out of shield. He was just barely able to get the grab. Now, mind you, Cake Assault, every time he gets back aired, is holding down to get back to the ground as fast as possible. I think when he just got hit just now, he was holding diagonal down that way so he can get back to the ground so that he could use more defensive options like shield, like spot dodge, like jab. But in your gold lobbies, silver lobbies, platinum lobbies, in your rank matches, they're not going to be doing that shit. So keep this in your bag. Get that quick back air hit fall out of shield, and you can get easy, damage. Easy way to start your damage, especially like sub 30%. That's going to be really useful for you guys. So here comes another insane combo from Ion, and I just want to break it down and show you what the strategy behind it was. So it actually starts off a dash attack, which is crazy. But as you can see, again, Cake is heading towards a platform. Gonna end up right here. Wave land into the down tilt. What did I tell y'all? Past like 80, 70, 80, 90%, down tilt is your best friend. This is an insane awareness from Ion to know that that move was going to send to the platform at that angle. And he actually caught him, I think, before he was able to attack or something. Up air, late hit. Down air. But the down air by itself in this moment wouldn't have done anything. It couldn't like have confirmed into a smash attack, nothing. So he does another down tilt that's going to pop him up perfectly for this kill. All calculated, all planned. No accidents. Wave. Oh, he missed the tech. That's what happened there. Down tilt, up air, down tilt, up B. And this is the last thing I want to point out for game 2. Some defensive stuff you guys can use. If you get hit off stage, let's slow this down. You can actually, whether you side B or down B to the wall is irrelevant. But once you get to the wall, depending on if you have your double jump, you can get back to the stage sort of aggressively here. So what he did was went to the wall, jumped off the wall here, and then did another double jump right here. His back was turned because when you jump off the wall, you face that way. So if you then jump this way, you'll still be facing to the left. So then you can use your back air aggressively right here to get back onto the stage. Just some cool stuff. All this stuff is really cool to me because I didn't play Rivals of Aether 1. I think this was a thing people did in Rivals 1 a lot. But this is super cool to me. I'm going to be trying to practice that and add that into my gameplay. But it doesn't work out for him. It is risky. So let's head to game 3. In game 3, I want to talk about Olympia's side B. Obviously, Ion's combos have proven to be insane, but I think there might be something lacking in the options that he's selecting, especially on these platforms, which I want to talk about. Because coming from my background playing Bowser, who has a command grab in Ultimate and in Wii U, Smash Wii U, my favorite thing to do was to knock people on platforms and then command grab them. And that's why I got really excited to start playing Olympia, because I saw she had that command grab, and I was like, oh, I can do my thing that I love to do. But I don't see a lot of high-level Olympias utilizing side B when people get knocked on the platforms. And you guys, if you know why, maybe it's like not the best option to do, please let me know in the comments. We have a last stock situation with Cake Assault. He happens to land the up air from the platform, which starts the string. 2 up airs, and he goes for a third up air that misses, but then after the third up air misses, he goes for another up air. Now, just thinking about it now, this up air is a lot less risky than going for a side B. I know that the side B takes less frames, or the side B takes way longer than, you know, a short hop up air will, but that short hop up air didn't get him anything, and he actually lost the game because of it. So I guess that's just like my little discussion post. Would side B have been better to use there? Maybe you could have got away with just like a wave land grab, something like that. But I feel like people aren't utilizing side B to its fullest potential. And now the last game, game 4. For this first stock of game 4, I actually want to highlight one of Olympia's weaknesses, is her lack of range. It seems like a lot of people have... Olympia just has an issue getting in sometimes, and especially on a stage like Fire Capital, you're going to see that a lot. So let's just watch this first stock and see how long it takes for Ion to get a meaningful hit. Tries to get the down air, unsuccessful. A lot of this is because, you know, you can't see fours. The back air almost worked, and there we go. He caught him out with the up air. Was that 22 seconds? I can't do math. It took like over 20 seconds for Ion to land a meaningful hit that was able to start his advantage state, which first of all is a testament to Cake Assault's like ability as a player, and second of all is a testament to how difficult sometimes it can be to get in with Olympia. So if you guys are having trouble approaching with Olympia, I know I am for sure. don't feel that discouraged because, you know, it can be hard, especially when your opponent is extremely mobile, like Cake. He goes for the back air, doesn't land. Grab whiffs. Back air out of shield lands, but Cake was actually smart enough to, like I said, DI down, which also, you know, points out another one of Olympia's weaknesses, which I just found out by analyzing this video, is that despite how strong Olympia's back air is, at low percents, you see that arrow pointing down? At low percents, if your opponent just holds down, they can not floor hug it, but effectively it is a floor hug. Because you're not going to be able to get anything off of it because they can act before you can do anything. Like Cake Assault was able to roll away before Ion could get that grab confirm. Even though it looks like that should be like a real confirm out of shield. Then again, I just want to reiterate how Ion is using the down tilt to set up these kills. We have Cake Assault at 103%. So he died, used his invincibility to just get a good position close to force burn, pops the down tilt, once again connecting with the up air, because the down tilt on its own doesn't connect that well into the up B. So he uses the up air to get it in the perfect spot, and then he goes for the up special. Now, Fire Capital is a huge stage, so that didn't kill. But you can see he does it immediately again. Dashes into the down tilt, just repeats the process. There he caught that Cake's DI wasn't that good, and he was in a good position to just go for the raw up special, so he did so. So down tilt really is your best friend at high percent. This is one of the last things I want to point out. I think this is the last thing I'm going to point out, is actually a critique that I have for Ion here. And you guys can discuss this in the comments, agree, disagree. I think this is important, not specifically for Ion, but myself and other people watching this video, is that when you are in a last stock situation and there's a lot of pressure on you, I think where a lot of people fail, and how I feel like Ion failed in this moment. Is he gesturing to the crowd? What is he doing in the player cam? Oh, he's gesturing to the crowd to hype him up. Okay, so I know for a fact I'm correct on this take. He is being way too aggressive and overextending himself in this last stock when he really didn't need to. Think about the reason Cake Assault even took him to Fire Capital in the first place. Fire Capital is one of the largest stages in Rivals of Aether 2. He wants to use that space. The more space Cake Assault has, the more chances he has for Ion to mess something up and for Cake to whiff punish. And that's exactly what he's doing on this last stock. And Ion played directly into it. And the point that I want to get across isn't that Ion just made a mistake. It's that there is no reason to make this mistake. The timer has 4.5 minutes on it. And I think something a lot of fighting game players forget is that until that timer reaches 0, nobody wins. You know, until there's like 20 seconds on that timer, then you have to do something. You literally have to do something, or you will lose the game if you are behind. Ion is behind here by 80%, but he doesn't have to do anything for another 4 minutes. So use that time. Use the space that you have. I know Olympia isn't one of the most mobile characters, her run speed being so slow, but she has things like down B cancel and gem dash. You can see here he's just running in with the back air, running in with the forward air, running in with the back air, not doing a lot of... He's dash dancing here, which is great. This type of stuff I like. At the start of this stock, he wasn't playing super hungry, but after he gets that first hit, kind of just keeps going. Scary up B onto the stage. Great recovery. Oh my god. That was insane there. That's the one thing I wanted to point out too. Under like 20, 25, 30%, Cake Assault is... Look, that... No, that nigga floor hugged the back air. That nigga floor hugged the back air. Like, bro, that's it. That's Olympia counterplay y'all can take to the bank. Like, Cake was just so fucking locked in on defense. It was just insane. And I know I ended it off on a critique there, but I just want to stress how impressed and just blown away I was by Ion's gameplay as Olympia. I've been watching a lot of Olympia VODs, and just everyone has just really impressed me. But I'm very easily impressed because I'm just a gold rank player. But I think, you know, even though I'm not a high rank, even though I'm not a tournament player, I think it still is useful to talk about the strategies that these pros are using. It's not obvious. I don't have to be a pro athlete to know how a pick and roll works. I actually don't know how a pick and roll works. I don't even know what that is. You know, I don't gotta be a 5-star chef to know the food is delicious. Okay, that gameplay was delicious. Ion has proven to be one of my favorite Olympias. Now I'm gonna go look into Zeus the Goose. Okay, because he just hit Ethereal with Olympia on ranked. So I'm gonna take a look at his gameplay. If you guys want to see more gameplay analysis videos, just subscribe. Keep fighting. I'll see you next time.